Bluelock and Kuroko have numerous similarities. Kuroko is basically Bluelock's daddy. And I'll be continuing on from my first video where I put the Kuroko characters into Bluelock and see how they would match up, see what abilities they would have, what weapons, and how good they would actually be. And why it took so long? You know, funny thing is, I actually finished this video like ages ago, but my computer decided to blow up and the company took donkey's years to actually come and fix it. So if you're upset, imagine me. I missed all of Bluelock Season 2. All of the views. So it's only appropriate to start with the Phantom Sixth Man. I was going to put him in the last video, but I don't know, he feels more suited to be with Savory. But let's talk about Kuroko. Now, Kuroko would be a very interesting player and his abilities would translate quite well. Overall, his stats would be 72, which is actually worse than current anime Haizaki, which is a feat to say the least. But where he will shine will be in his first weapon, that being his passing. Kuroko has very good quick passing, precise passing, along with good vision. He's able to thread passes through tight spaces and deliver technical and creative passes at a moment's notice. And though it's not Sai level of precision, it does have a trade-off being more unpredictable and quick. Now, with just this alone, he'll be good. But his next trick is really the core of his game. That is misdirection, which allows him to seemingly disappear off the field. Think Otoya and Isagi, how they use blind spots, but on crack, since he has a natural lack of presence and exceptional misdirection abilities. Unlike Isagi, who needs to find the blind spot, Kuroko can essentially create blind spots. And he has two sub-weapons from this, that being Vanishing Shot and Vanishing Drive, which both work in the same kind of way. In a 1v1 situation, Kuroko can use his misdirection to draw the opponent's gaze to his teammates in an instant to either shoot or get past them. And when this ability is overused, he has something called Misdirection Overflow, which essentially gives teammates in his vicinity this ability. The enemy focuses on him too much, which allows them to get past. And last but not least, he also has kind of an Emperor Eye. He is able to see the future movements of his teammates. Phew, okay, that was a lot, but how much is this all worth? Well, I would say he's good, but I think he's very situational, especially in football. But in that situation, he's probably on the level of Sai. But outside of that situation, he's probably worse than Isagi. So I would say around 90 million. He'll be a 72 rated cam playing for the Ubers because he is literally the most team-orientated player. And of course, this aura will be ghosts or phantoms. And think about it, if a character really had ghosts or phantoms as an aura in Bluelock, how sick it would be. Like for the whole show, you wouldn't see that aura until the end and it's revealed to be some sick ghost ghoul thing. I don't know. Someone like Kuroko would be very sick in Bluelock. Next is basically the MC, even though it's named after Kuroko, it's Kagami. Now, I think Kagami is quite the difficult character to translate. His only mode of shooting is dunking, which has no real equivalent in football, and his other weapons are being mostly jumping and physicality, you know, and the zone. I don't know, he's kind of trash in football. Yeah, he can get headers all day, but I don't know. It's not that he would be bad per se, but he would just be mid and kind of an underwhelming player. I mean, you got people over here like Midorima shooting from half field. You got Kashi over here breaking people's ankles, collecting them like a bailiff. It's all mad. And what can my guy do? Jump. Get out of him. But then I thought if I give him a bunch of air options like scissor kicks, bicycles, crazy trapping, and being completely air dominant, to the point where it feels like he has complete freedom in the air, I can definitely see it. It's basically a combination of Kunigami with hints of Nagi and Shido. A little bit of a stretch, but I think it works. His overall stats will be 95, obviously a striker playing for Manchan City because he is a very physical player, a bid of 100 million, and of course an aura of a flaming tiger. Mara ain't the only one. Next is Himuro, a character that I feel is very underrated, but I ain't that deep into the Kuroko community, so I don't know. But I never hear people talking about him, which is a shame because his character concept and his playstyle is sick. In short, he's a master of all fundamentals and of fakes. One of the most versatile but basic skills. One of them just being perfect fakes, which are represented by after images. And this crap that we will not discuss, making the air shimmer. Shut up, man. Anyway, this wouldn't work in football anyway, so it's fine. To be fair, I don't think we've seen a character like this in Bluelock. Rin does fakes, but it's not his whole personality. And he's not nearly as good as Himuro. So I think there's actually a pretty good likelihood that we see a character like this in Bluelock. You know, someone that isn't that talented but just worked so hard that they're just sick. Or as I said, somebody who uses a lot of fakes. But with that being said, I would put his stats at a 90 overall. Positioned as a winger who plays on Manchester City because obviously his brother's there and he is also a very physical player. He would have a bid of 90 million, good but not exceptional, and he would also have a kaleidoscopic aura similar to Mob Psycho, as a reference to his Mirage ability. Haizaki, another broken bastard. This time, stealing is what we've got on the chopping block. A very good ability. He can steal most weapons besides New Gen 11 and World Class weapons, because in his actual show, he could steal Generation of Miracle weapons, so it just makes sense. Now, what makes this ability different from Kisei and Ryo is that when he takes an ability, he actually takes it, as in the person who you took it from cannot use the ability anymore, which is outrageous. I know, but I actually really like the psychological logic they try to use for this, because it's true, if you see someone imitate you but isn't exactly you, you'll be thrown off. It even happens when overthinking about yourself, trying to replicate something that you did in the past, but it kind of throwing you off, thinking about stuff too much. And obviously, I'm not sure if this would work the same way it works in the show, you know, not being able to use something that you've honed over possible years through muscle memory. I'm not a psychologist, but to be fair, this is bluelock, where people can jump over cars, land on them perfectly and not fall off, so anything is possible really. So what's his bid? I would say it would be a healthy 180 million. Combined with a stat at 90, a striker for PXG. I consider Barcher, but honestly, he cares about money and status more than anything, and that's where you're gonna find it in PXG. And the aura of chains. Yes, I know someone has this, but screw that person, because I can't think of anything better. Please tell me if you can, but yeah, I think this is perfectly fine. And lastly, we got Teppei. Now, Teppei is a very simple character. His weapons consist of his jumping ability and also his grip strength, bolstered by his big hands allowing him to fully encompass the ball, moving it in any direction he pleases. These weapons, in conjunction with his pretty decent reactions, is pretty safe to say he would be a very good goalkeeper. How good? Well, I'll say 88 rated, playing for Ubers with a bid of 30 million. Yeah, they kind of underrate goalies, but you know, it is what it is. And I think his aura would work well as a bear. You know, he's a big guy, the claw thing, it just makes sense. And with that, I've completed all of the characters, well, all of the main characters. There are a couple others that I haven't done, but I thought they weren't really needed to be done. But feel free to tell me what you think those characters would have in the comment section, like the rest of Seirin, etc., like the Uncrowned King. But I thought these were the main ones, and I don't think I will make another video for those characters. And as I said before, and as you can see on my channel, this is not a blue lock channel. I say that so just don't be looking all confused when you see a JJK, when you see a Sakamoto Days, all of them things there. But yeah, that's pretty much it. Love. Let the outro play, man. Go away, 'cause you so sorry. You so sorry. No, you so sorry. No, you so sorry. No, you so sorry. No, you so sorry.